Hi there! Welcome back to the Soil e-learning course. We are now in Chapter 2, Knowing Soils for Absolute Beginner. Now let me put a surrogate to understand soil a lot easier. Knowing soil without touching it by yourself, it is impossible to learn and diagnose the soil limitations. Once you see the soil first, you will surely know the soil surface, right? However, seeing the layers underneath cannot be negligible. Let me compare it with a cake where you should be able to know what kind of layers underneath the cream covering are, right? You need to cut the cake and check. Similarly, about the soil, if you like to understand soil very well, we need to dig it and bring it up to see more clearly. In Soil Academic, soil classification is based on the property of soil layers. However, in this e-learning course, we like to simplify everything that makes sure that you all can check the soil by yourself. So I will bring only stuff that you commonly experience, at least we all once are used to playing with the soil. Now let me show you when we dig up the soil and we study together. Alright guys, now we at the soil surface. I may ask you all to pause the class right now and go somewhere that you can find the soil. So that way we can learn from what we are having together. Alright, so this is our typical soil over your backyard. Basically, what we are doing right now is just trying to show you guys once we see the soil together. In my hand is a handful of soil. This is topsoil. Remember, I talk a lot about soil layers, right? But the most important one is the topsoil, especially when we talk about agriculture, growing plants. So this is how it looked like at first. I like you guys to have the soil in your hand, try to feel. Maybe you can close your eyes and check, like feel with your own fingers if the soil very soft or not. After you touching it, you can see the color. This is two main character of the soil that you can experience by yourself. Okay, so right now I like to focus more about the soil component. So I will put this soil over here. This is a handful of soil that I have, and I like to bring the pie chart that you guys can see easier to understand the component of the soil. Now let's take a look at the soil that I dig up. If you may, you can pause the class right now and please be somewhere that you can get the soil, at least a handful, then start learning together. Firstly, I like to have all of you try to close your eyes, touch the soil by yourself, then rub the soil with your finger like this. I bet you can tell that the soil is a mixture of so many things, right? That is the key, where now you understand that soil generally has a long history. I mean it literally before coming in your hand right now. So there are some sort of materials that mix together. Now here, let me show you a little bit of theory. Okay, based on things that you can see, you can touch the soil in 1 unit of volume. Think about you get a container you have, and then you fill up that container with the soil, and then that we call a volume unit. Okay, within that volume unit, you can identify the 4 main components in the soil that are minerals around 45%, okay? Organic matter around 5%. These two is the solid phase of the soil components. And another half we have here is just the pore in the soil. So within the pore, we have air and water kind of compensate to each other to take the spot of the pore space, all right? And this 4 component is really important. We always see these 4 components, but the amount of each component might be a little bit different. This is for ideal soil we have, and we call them mineral soil. Let me show you a little bit information here. You see that organic matter down there, which is just 5%, right? But this part is really important as being soil, especially when we talk the soil as a important factor for plant growing. But some of the soil, when we found that the organic matter is maybe over 20%, that we call organic soil. But typically, all around the world, the majority of the soil resources are mineral soil, like we have in here, all right? These 4 components already tell us that that is the reason why soil is so important for us. Especially we are plants, which are our food, fibers, and medicine. Because of the solid part, minerals cemented by organic matter make soil structure that physically supports plant roots. Moreover, the pore generated by soil structure with appropriate size can store water and air for plants. Understanding these 4 components are also help us to understand the basic soil knowledge like soil color and soil texture. Now let's start with the soil color. You guys know that soil color is one of the most easily observed features of the soil. It is derived from the 2 components of the soil, you can guess now, that are organic matter and of course the minerals. Right here in my hand, you see that the dark color. Generally, most minerals are not colorful, just so you know. However, when they are coated by humus and iron oxides, they could be somewhere from black, brown to yellow and red. Calcium and magnesium carbonates, on the other hand, color the soil white. So, at first you see the soil color, you can tell that the dark color of the soil surface is attributed to the soil organic matter, right here. So, if you plan to add more organic matter to your soil, you can check the change of your soil property by look at the soil color. That's what I'm trying to say. The darker the soil, the more organic matter is presented. For the red color of the soil horizon, we don't have it here, but try to imagine that you have the red soil color. I'm pretty sure that in the next few more chapters, we will be able to be in the field, and I will show you with the red soil color for sure. And the red soil color that actually attributed to the accumulation of iron under good aeration and high amount of oxygen for sure. Yellow colors are also a function of iron accumulation but less oxygen. For those gray colors are a function of iron accumulation but very poor aeration. Now you can see that only iron accumulation in soil can differentiate the wide range of the soil color with and without oxygen. Now I would like to address here that soil color can tell us more than just how beauty of it, but the hydrology of the soil profile. So like here in my hand, you can see that with the dark color like this, it can tell us that you have contained a lot of organic matter. And of course, you can feel of the moisture of the soil itself. So that is somehow tell you about the hydrology of your soil. The soil with red color tend to retain lower amount of water than the yellow one, if both soils are similar in texture and structure. Now is soil texture. Soil texture is different from soil color in that of derived by only the mineral part over here, where the 3 basic particle size known as sand, silt, and clay. The proportion of these sand, silt, clay particles by mass can tell us what kind of soil texture we have using soil texture triangle. Now, we have here in my hand the soil. Soil texture has a profound influence on many soil properties. And also knowing the soil texture reveal us the potential and limitation considering toward the selected plants we are growing. For example, soil with high amount of clay is really sticky, right? And it's not good for those plants that need well-drained system. However, if we use that type of soil for paddy rice production, then it is great. Because paddy rice need a lot of water throughout the plantation. The clay soil then is perfect as it has high capacity to retain water. And that is all for soil texture. Guys, okay, this chapter is given to those who are real absolute beginners. So start checking your soil color and try to guess what caused the color appearance. Also, touch your soil and see if your soil at least sandy, loamy or clayey types of soil. We have run out of time now. Stay in touch. See you guys in the next chapter. Bye bye.